I am master degree student from QUT. I'm here to present design of QUT ABE School to you. Before I start getting into the functionality and technicality of the building, I want to actually explain to you what my vision of ABE School and what it makes so special. ABE School to me is a symbol of change in faculty from creative industry to engineering. It is reflecting QUT brand, which is technological and practical based learning. And most importantly, it's design that reflects on post-COVID learning style. There are three important elements in design. First one is pedagogy. Now, I want to mention to you that after COVID, it shows to us that the learning style has been changed now compared to the normal physical learning model. In my vision, the pedagogy of ABE School will be more blended learning model, and the hierarchy of learning scheme is different than normal physical learning model. The lecture will be moved to online and all time and available for all time access for students. All classes will be live and recorded for student access. And most importantly, is provide more flexibility of full-time working students, single parents, and special learning students. Second key element is the radical inclusivity. Internship design is not only include the university design for disability, but also consider the minority of students who have special learning requirements such as ADHD or autism, while it still express the value of the land of the that we're given the honor to give, that's been given from the First Nation people. And in terms of community engagement, I would like to engage the Indigenous community and artists to participate in designing the details of the SAS pattern. And the third key element is the space. As a first-hand experience user, multifunction and flexible space is very beneficial for students during COVID and also post-COVID time. So my intention in design is to design the all studio and most of space to be multifunction, and then also can be used for various occasions, not just for one purpose. For example, like ground floor corridor and outdoor studies, it can be converted into exhibition space, which we don't have to travel all the way to Covent Grove anymore. We can just, exhibit and promote the iconic building on the precinct itself. Another example is the flexible studio that can be converted into cohort design presentation where students can walk through and then form informal exhibition for classes and utilize the circulation space. Now, in terms of our master planning of the university, my intention of this design is not to just build a building, just add another building into the campus. That's not what I am here to achieve. My intention of ABE School is to have is to create another iconic building to complete the whole precinct of the engineering and then merge it to like architectural and engineering precinct. So as you can see here, these are diagrams explaining how we're trying to achieve the new precinct School of Architecture and Built Environment and Engineering faculty. In terms of pedestrian path, we create direct access from the Goodwill Bridge and then all the way up to the building. And then also we create another riverfront walkway on the retail precinct down here for public to actually be able to actually have a separate path and then also still engage with the university. So the intention of these various pedestrian paths are first for the pedestrian safety, because we actually separate the pedestrian path from the cyclist down here. Because if you are the first-hand user, you know that these are chaotic part of the university. So we're trying to actually minimize the contact between cyclist, vehicle, and then pedestrian. And then also we would like to create a formal access from the campus, which is down here, directly from the all government lawn directed to the precinct. And then also, as most of the students actually access from the city gate, then now you can actually access directly from the QUT city gate from Queensland Parliament House all the way to the precinct. So there are multiple options for students, public, and then staff to actually like navigate through the precinct. In terms of vehicle access, I would like to establish underground access and utilize the existing underground car park of P block, and then extended the access further to underground car park under the building. In terms of bicycle access management, there will be a separate point here where cyclists can actually just keep riding all the way down here, which will be separate from pedestrian path on this line. And then when you actually enter to the share zone, you have to slow down with a certain speed limit, or you might have to hop out. So then, it gives pedestrian safety, and then you can actually continue riding it across the bridge, or vice versa on the other direction as well. And I would like to promote the zero emission traveling alternatives as well. So I would like to add more bike park and bike storage, which will be like the outdoor one here, and then also in the P block, which will be the gap there will be storage and facility there, and then also like the outdoor bike park. And then I would like to increase the size of the bike storage on near J block as well. So the scope work of the development are divided into like few bases. So the first one is the precinct bridge access from campus. The second element is landscape work on all government lawn. The third one is main campus path pedestrian. Fourth one is QUT waterfront retail and entertainment precinct. The fifth one is safe travel path separation for pedestrian. As I mentioned before, that I would like to actually activate the QT riverfront lawn, become into like semi entertainment precinct that connect to the university, because the problem that I realized from being in Gardens Point is we're lack of the public space to exhibit and then have like the place for events, or like to play sports, because we're in such a compact city center campus. So I would like to activate that, and then also engage the community to actually have maybe like night market down there, and then activate like that space to become kind of like South Bank like, but then also within the university precinct. And then we'll have the river stage outdoor amphitheater down there for any exhibition or like performance entertainment event. And I would like to add activity hubs. The intention of activity hubs are to provide the safety, and then also utilize the hubs, and then kind of take people to travel from hubs to create like kind of like journey within the campus as well. And then in terms of development stage, there are 3 phases. First stage is to build the ABE School building and precinct bridge, which is this one. And then the stage 2 is to build the QUT waterfront lawn, the retail land and landscape, river stage, outdoor amphitheater, which is down here. And then stage 3 is to build the QUT Gardens Point hubs, and then add the landscape structure in front of all government house to complete the whole precinct as a formal entry. And sorry. And this is the campus plan. So as you can see, there'll be direct access from the city, and then also pedestrian path down here, and also the access to there, which university student can actually access to the campus directly. And then also there will be green lane here, and then also the safe pedestrian cross path with the cyclist lane down here. So QUT School of Architecture and Built Environment is designed to accommodate a new curriculum under QUT engineering faculty on the honourable land of the First Nation people. The ABE school is designed to reflect on new blended learning model post-COVID, where a combination of physical and online learning are taking place. And the building is designed to complete and complement the existing engineering precinct as one of the main precincts on campus, while giving the honour and acknowledge of the land and of First Nation people through the facade detail and materiality. There are two concepts involved in this that's established this design. The first one is the site contextual concept. I would like to acknowledge two reference buildings on the campus. The first one is the P block, and the second one is the Old Government House. The concept of the campus and the negative space is from the juxtaposition and negative space from Old Government House. The site is designed to juxtapose the Old Government House to a negative space as a missing middle to turn into space that public space can access in the new building. And then it's kind of like mirror, like kind of symbolic that you know, this building is actually is located in the First Nation people's land, and this how kind of like the irony of how then they were treated, and then now they are able to have the power on their land. And this is kind of symbolized of design of how history has been, and then like kind of show the connection between, you know, like university, government, indigenous value, and the community. In terms of form concept, from the presentation that we had in class from the indigenous guest, he was mentioning that you know, the concept of Aboriginal time is constant, and it comes with layer, where everything's continuous. There's no one single line ending. It's just you adding layers and layers and layer of experience, and then that's how the land works. So the form of the concept is the layering, which is developed from context of indigenous cultural acknowledgement. The building form is the transition from the layering of interpretation of age in Aboriginal culture and respect to the land. And this is the materiality. These are the perforated metal that we're going to use for facade, and this will be like the finishes. And then as you can already see, it's kind of capturing the natural landscape color scheme. And this is the precinct plan, which is near the outdoor amphitheater down there on the retail entertainment precinct. And then these are the landscape, and then the rooftop terrace. This is the view of the western elevation when you actually walk past Old Government House looking to the new building. And this is P block. As you can already see, we're trying to keep the same language and scale, connectivity, where it's like completing the whole precinct as a whole. And this is the view from riverfront. So we want to actually have a bit of connection with the existing building, but then yet to show the iconic and symbolism of, like, you know, the iconic building that actually still reference the same scale or facade of the P block, but then also have its own character. This is ABE school site plan. So these are the corridor and then the bridge access, which you can actually go in, and then you have the cafe, outdoor studying, which can turn into student exhibition, and then student center, and then all the workshop, and then atrium lawn, which student can actually access through these public stairs as well. And this is the section. This is the riverfront side. You can actually walk up and then go down here, and then there will be green balcony, and then there will be atrium with a lot of green and natural ventilation. And this is the section showing the connection of the existing precinct and how it actually work with the new building. And this is the car park. This is the floor plan. On ground floor, which I include workshop, ABE lawn, cafe, student center, outdoor study, and corridor and seasonal student exhibitional space. And for second floor, these are the space for flexible learning studio, outdoor studying space, semi-outdoor group learning space, video conference room, and lunchroom. And on the level 2 or 3rd floor of the building, it's where the admin space are located, and then also the student computer lab are taking place. So these include like head office, ABE school reception, staff hot desk area, the meeting room, high-level student research computer lab, private office, and outdoor study, and all like other computer labs that students need. So the intention of the staff area that I designed is to have the hot desk area, and then also the kind of like the booking system that you can actually book like by day or monthly booking, because as we can already see, some of the staff actually might not be able to actually like access the campus due to the COVID restriction, or like there'll be some temporary staff who such as a tutor who needs space to access, but then also don't really require the permanent space for them, so they can actually use this space wide booking facility. So it'll be kind of similar to co-op office. And the intention of this is just kind of to increase the connectivity and the relationship between the staff and school admin to the students. And on the upper level, which is level 3, these are kind of the highlight, one of the highlight of precinct, which I see in a lot of buildings that actually have a 360 view on top of the building, but then students never be able to access. Then this will be where the seminar and lecturer room taking place, and all the function room, outdoor undercover recreational area, and then where the cooling tower and mech plant rooms are. So as I mentioned before, that the priority of lecture is no longer the highest priority of this learning model, which means all the lecture will not be taking place, but instead, all the lecture hall will not exist, will not be one of the key space in the building, but instead will actually turn the learning space into a lectorial room, which means you can actually still have lecture, but then also have tutorial in the same space at the same time, which works out quite well with COVID restriction, with the numbering people, which as you can already see in the COVID time, you actually go to uni, but then there's so much space of the lecture hall during pandemic time that you can't access due to the restriction, and then ventilation, and then also the intention of a smaller room, and then also like more of like a closed-in environment, which is like lectorial, give the ADHD and autism students a bit more comfort, and then also like improve their learning environment. And on the top floor that you can actually access from the roof terrace access down here to the roof terrace, which will be like undercover, and but then also at the same time you can actually like do work or like hold some like yoga or activity that student can actually access, because during the pandemic time you can't actually just walk around. You can actually like come up here and then have a breather, that kind of thing, release stress. So these are just a few render to capture what we're trying to achieve. So we want to actually promote the mental health and well-being, and these we want to actually maximize the view and the connection to the botanical garden, and then also provide the outdoor studying down there. And this is the atrium, where you can see like it's connect all part together, or the floor plates. And then also we want to actually implement the universal scheme, which from the study they said when you actually have like high change of environment, students with autism find it hard to actually kind of adapt to. So any the good design for autism students with special learning requirement is to have things that actually kind of like universal, keep it same scheme, less of environmental change. And that is it. Thank you so much for listening.